Protest when the budget's passed. Protest now. They can fly it. It's absolutely free. What we're doing here is this is a sleepover that is in protest of the upcoming vote on the city budget. We think that the things that we know about that are being cut from the budget are going to be devastation economically to the families of New York City. And we think that the working class is getting an unfair burden placed upon them, whereas the rich get off easy. 2/3 of corporations don't pay taxes. A lot of the rich don't pay taxes or have havens where they can hide money so they don't have to pay taxes on it. And the bill always comes to the poor and the working class. You know, we're paying for everything, and yet we're getting our services essentially cut.
I'm out here because I still believe in the possibility that things can change. I'll admit, I was overwhelmed with the suffering that people have experienced, with hearing different assisted programs being closed down, hospitals closed down, just services that people need, you know. And I just couldn't believe that this was our democracy. I thought we kind of like shared, you know, services, believed it was a right, and I realized no, it's not, and we actually have to fight for these things.
I'm a person who, like other people, depend on public things. I depend on public roads and sidewalks, regulations to regulate the air and water, but my heart is really with public education. I went to public schools from pre-K through my master's. My parents are both public school teachers, and right now Bloomberg's proposed budget plans to cut over 6,000 public school teachers. Also in the proposed budget are closing 20 firehouses, deep cuts to libraries, deep cuts to childcare, Head Start programs, homeless services. Meanwhile, Bloomberg cut taxes for millionaires. Wall Street, which was bailed out, is now seeing record profits. Some CEOs are seeing bonuses as large as $30 million. We have corporations like Bank of America and Walmart and Citigroup and Exxon paying zero taxes.
A lot of families are probably going to become responsible for some of the seniors and their families to take over services that they have. For example, if they lose part of their medical benefits, they're still going to need their medication. Who's going to pay for that? You know, the families are going to have to help that. In terms of their lodging, if they lose their lodging because of budget cuts, where are they going to stay? They most likely are going to have to stay with family members. So what happens is, as they take money away, they force people to start taking care of each other. And being that we're already in a financial difficulty, it's going to really put a lot of families at risk, where you may be pushed into foreclosure, you may be pushed into bankruptcy.
You know, we're taught that in order for democracy to work, we have to be very informed. But a lot of us are not informed about what's going on, I realized. I had no idea of our country's foreign policy and how they've treated other people. I'm still learning about the wars and the atrocities that are going on.
I spit this piece to keep me radical, cause otherwise I might forget. Cause when you've been chilling in New York for a little while, you're getting that hanging out, just doing you, first world mindset, and so I spit. I spit to kick my ass back to the broken down shack in the slums outside of Quito, Ecuador, where my cousin died from doing crack. I spit to slap me with the fact that every time I pay a tax, I help this government murder innocent people in Iraq. And there ain't nothing liberal or conservative about that. So
well, we're challenging, you know, conventional norms on race and class by having a movement that's so diverse. We have people in high school, we have people who have been in the movement for 60 or 40 years, we have women and men. We have people, we've been working with Picture the Homeless, which organizes homeless people. So even that shows that we are working across class lines. Like, you don't have to be a wealthy white man to make a difference or a change, or even to have opinions. These movements help us to actually see each other and talk to each other.
We have a broad message, and that is that we all deserve to live with dignity and make a living wage and pay a fair share of taxes. There should be a fair market, and the free market is not a fair market.
I want peace from the Bronx to Baghdad to Sierra Leone. Peace for every man, woman, and child without a home. I want peace in Bolivia, Mexico y Ecuador. Peace built on policies to stop keeping our people poor. I want peace on my block between us and the police. I want peace between America and the entire Middle East. I want peace so bad, but we need to want it more. We need to want it more than these weapons companies want for. And if y'all look, you're gonna see that in my eyes. They are bloodshot red because real men are not afraid to cry, and I am not afraid to say I believe peace is possible, but that is radical, my people. And radical means to the root. And if we got the courage to admit it, the root of peace is me and you. Remember, life should not be easy for any, while life is this hard for this many.
A lot of people are walking by not realizing that when this thing passes, it's going to be so devastating that, it's going to be too late for them to react. And that's one thing that we're trying to do, is tell people that stop being reactionary and pay attention to what people are saying, pay attention to what's going on, and then make a decision whether or not you think that you need to stand up and fight back.
The media picked up the story the first night, the protest, and we're thinking that now it's going to be a story about our endurance. And we hope to be out here until the end of the month when City Council votes. And I think we're going to make it.
Budget is supposed to be voted on this month. And when the deadline comes, if it passes, then anybody who wants to mobilize to fight against what's been done is going to be an even more difficult battle.
And I feel like these movements help to cut across race, gender, and class lines, and that's the thing we need right now. And that's what will be different, even if Bloombergville doesn't effectively change the budget cuts. But it's changed us, and we're going to go back into our communities and talk about what we've done here, so people at least have a pathway, so that when they travel it, they can take it even that much further and create a history of resistance. If we really believe in equality of opportunity, we can't just sit back and watch politicians do the work.